let's move on to the C terms.
Quite a few options on the C terms here. CFR, CIF, CPT, and CIP. So they can be applied to, well, CFR and CIF are sea and inland waterway transport terms, whereas CPT and CIP are any transport mode. The seller is responsible for arrangements for transport and the charges associated with the transport for most of the costs up to the name point in that country. So it could be to a port, a container yard, a container freight station, or the airport. CIF and CFR are the same except for one thing, and that's insurance. In CIF, insurance is covered by the seller. And then CPT and CIP are the same except for one thing, kind of like above. CIP insurance is covered by the seller.
I just have one comment on that. When you're buying on a CIF or a CIP term, one important thing to do is to really verify what that insurance looks like. Get a copy of the policy or go through with your seller, to ensure that it's proper coverage. In a lot of cases, if that seller is insuring it, they may not be insuring it at a proper value, or this could be something out of the norm, which you're only going to find out when there's a problem.
That's a good point. And also speaking about the buying on these terms, we do have a question and that came in. It's for the C series Incoterms, who unloads the goods and who loads the drayage truck at the port of import. So in that case, it would be the buyer. The buyer will pay for the unloading of the goods, the dray, and those charges.
Correct. Yeah, one thing to touch on there too, when you're buying on a CNF term, say out of the EU, you want to verify if that also includes your destination terminal, say in the Port of New York or Houston or wherever it could be in the United States. Because your CNF could just cover freight and not that terminal handling, which out of the EU is anywhere on a 40 between $400 to $600 per container for your destination THC. So try to get that nailed down. So it's CFR New York, including destination terminals or excluding, so at least you do have that extra DTHC to pay.
I mean, and that's just another point that these terms are not law. So that's something that you're going to have to discuss. Make sure you get it down in writing, who's actually responsible for what.
That is